Hey guys, Charlie here. Welcome back. Prison Architect. I am moving this metal detector because I figure there's gonna be a lot of traffic through here, and there is, right? Maximums, serving up the mediums, serving up their own. It's working, but we're not getting enough stuff in this shop, so hopefully we kind of get more shipments. One thing that is also happening, which it needs to not happen at all, is this. We have a problem with our, well, let's see, look at deployment here. So somehow these guys are able to get up there, and that doesn't make sense to me. How is that happening? I know they can get into here, but this is a shop that has a ton of stuff in it that's overpopulated with stuff, and then the other one's not getting any deliveries, but there's nothing. Oh, look at that. So these guys can go all the way through here, shared, into the canteen. Then they can go through here. That's a problem. So we want to lock this down. Custom sector, minimum, medium, maximum. Right? Allow all of them to come in here, but not protective custody. The same thing will be true for, let's say, medium and maximum here. So that way we don't get the maximums in the kitchen. Now we have to leave the classrooms shared, because otherwise the programs won't work for them. Also, this should be staff only as well. All right, so there's a bit of a problem there. Might result in our yellow shirt getting, like, cut up right now. So if we could kind of get him back where he goes, like, soon, like, right now. Because one of these guys might, you know... Yeah, being escorted to dormitory. Somebody come and do this before he just gets cut. Where's my guard? There we go. Okay, so he's going to be safe. So we're going to lock that down. And, like, that's some of the things you got to be careful with these shared, you know, custom sectors, is that if you're not careful, you might create this nice creative route where they can get into some trouble. But I like this, though. I like how this whole area here is kind of shared, and all the security levels from minimum all the way up can get into this store and buy things. If there's a way to do that with this shop, which it looks like there is, yeah, I mean, they can come in here and work and do that. So this shop is the same way, except there's not a whole lot of people working. Not as many people can be staffed, I guess. Oh, and this shop front, right, it's got to be adjacent to another room. This isn't a room, but it still counts. It's still allowing it to happen. And I don't know why. I'm going to allow it. I'm going to say that it just works, like whatever. Because it's not complaining. If I make it a common room, that's actually a bit of a problem, because then gangs could take over this territory and lock everybody out. So I don't want this. I don't want this to actually be a common room because of that. But people are able to come in here and buy things, so I know it's working. It would be really cool if we could offer it to the canteen as well. That way there might be a chance that Supermax could get some luxuries. Not that I really want them to have them, but it is a need that we need to fulfill, you know. All right, so this is hooked up to a servo now. We've got this area. We want to take our clone tool, and I'm going to copy all of this. Like, actually, you know what? Like this. Because I don't want to get the door servos. So we're going to go like this. All right, now none of these guys are in gangs. And this is too long, actually. Nice. All right, so we'll come out like this and maybe go like that. All the way over like so. Bop. And then let's actually go just like one at a time here real quick. Bop, bop, and bop. So that takes care of this whole line here. Do the same thing with these cells. We'll choose maybe this many. Now, I got to be careful about having it be this close, because they're going to tunnel. But I also want to be careful with where I'm going to go with the planning here, because you see the pathways, right? This pathway, where am I going with this, right? Am I going to take it down? I think so. That was the that was the idea, was to take it down, bring it over, and then also have it come up through like this, and to have all this stuff be, you know, cells as well. I believe I can do that. Yep, that will all work, because this can be cells, and these all perfectly line up with these other ones. So that'll just fit nicely, with walls being, you know, like so. And then we can do the same thing with this side, with walls this way. And that does fit too, although it doesn't fit. So it has to come down just a little bit more. It has to come down about like this. About that far. And then, or I could go down a little bit further. If I went down further, I'd be able to get one of those middle section kinds of things in there. So we'd be able to go something like, well, we go too wide here, right? And then we go 9. Then we take the middle from 9 all the way down like that. And then this is our 3x2s that we have, right? So kind of like this. And then 1, 2, then we come down 5 more. And we have our actual cells. So this ends up being the very back, which means we have to like really watch this because of the tunnels. Guys, I'm not sure actually that I'm expanding. That's been my plan my entire time. But with the instability of this game, I'm just going full disclosure on you here. With the instabilities that I'm experiencing with this, and I'm really uncertain about save files. Like, I'm paranoid about just losing this save file because of things outside my control. I keep saving new ones. Like, look at how many saves I have for just this playthrough. And number 10 here is the only one that will load. 11 and safe are, I thought, were my newest ones, but I was able to get 10 to load, which was a copy of 11 and YT safe anyway. So, like, I'm gonna have 3, basically every time I start recording, I save twice, and then I play through it, and then I save 3 times, and hope that one of those saves will open. And so far, one of them opens, and that's, like, now in this case, it's 10. 11, obviously, would come after 10, usually, in my naming architecture, but that one's corrupt. So, I'm, or corrupt, I don't know if corrupt, but it simply won't load reliably. So I don't think I'm going to be expanding land. It's unfortunate, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that. So we might be closer to the end of this prison build than I thought. And, you know, when I turn it over on Steam, anyone who wants to take it from there, feel free to do all the things you want to do with expansion. But I think, given that I'm probably not going to expand, I'm going to take and bring perimeter wall along the bottom here. This is a lot of money, but it'll be worth it for the purposes of, like, stopping their tunneling. So we're gonna bring perimeter wall all the way along the bottom and say that we're not expanding this way. If I am gonna expand, it's gonna be across the road, and that would be the only expansion at that point. So what I'm gonna do also is get the perimeter wall set up along the backside here. Now, this is incredibly expensive, but I've been saving up money and I have it, so I'm gonna spend it. So we've got the perimeter wall set up there, and I don't have enough to do any more, and I want to make sure I have enough for the cells. So what we're going to do is, we have this kind of planned out down here, but I want to get this done too. So to get this done, let's go back to quick build. I can bring this to, looks like here, and then let's get this to be just a little bit smaller. We'll go one at a time. We can go there, and there, and there. No, this is the walkway, so we'd want it here. Yeah, like that. And then here. And then these are the same walls, so we'll do that. Okay, and then, let's see, for the middle part here, we could probably get away with doing another one of these, but I thought about having another big common room here, and that way it would sort of give these guys a better one that they could go to. Because right now, they're kind of sharing this one little one, and that's it. So I want to give them something else, and that's what this area here is going to be, I think. So if I was to, for example, go quick build on this, would you let me do... Nah, I don't like that. Where's this common room going to be? It could be here. It could be right here. Let's do it right here, and then we'll have, I guess, more cells on this side. So quick build wise, we'll just grab this again, and we'll say we want cells here, 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 and not there. So that would have to end right there. Yeah, it'll end right there, that's fine with me. Okay. So there's our cells. There's our cell block. And then we're just going to grab our walls on this side. Let's say there. There. Let's just have one entrance. We'll have it be in the middle. Like that. Alright, good. Get rid of the planning lines. And again, we have our expansion kind of roughly laid out here, so I know where this all is. And with this expansion being here, we know that we want at least 2 wide there, so we can have the pathway be here. Then up. And then this can just be the wall that we end it with here. And then this area here is going to stay open. It's intended to allow me expansion room with protective custody. It's incredibly easy just to expand it that way. So it's going to give me room to do that. I don't need room to expand Supermax because my prisoners are not motivated to get up. Like they're not getting upgraded, right? I can come down and like I only have these 2. People are not murdering very much. Okay, it doesn't happen as much in this prison as it would happen in other prisons we've had. Because they're motivated to get themselves upgraded. Now this might change when we get, say, Red Leader in here, for example. That could possibly change. Let's get in here so I can forgive his punishments. Jerk. I can get the danger level back down. This area here is kind of done, and that sucks because of these guys, so I might open this up and make more cells around the outside here. I could also have some more cells here, although I'd rather stop them from tunneling. And if I take a look at patrols, I do have dog routes set up, but I don't have a whole lot of dogs on those routes. Am I out of dogs or what? I have 25 handlers. That should be enough. Put some extra dogs on and put a couple extra guards in. So this is going to be the new common room for medium sec. And now right now this is locked down, but we're gonna put this as medium sec. And this area is going to get the common room treatment. That brings it kind of like a middle ground, right? We don't want it to be rated as highly as this one. So if we take a look at the room rating here, this is a 10 out of 10. Okay. We don't want to make a perfect 10 common room. We don't want to make a perfect 10. That's a gym. And then there's a 9 out of 10 yard, which is kind of good because it's kind of flows for everybody. And maybe that's not... I mean, maybe that's not a good thing. You know, maybe we should get, take some of the stuff out of here. You know? Hey, notebook page. Are you? I still don't have all those. All this time playing Prison Architect, I still don't have all those. I think it's because a lot of times I don't see them. It just don't look for things like that. I don't know. There's a lot of things in video games that developers do that they think will be fun for people, and I don't know, they just never work on me. Like, you know, like achievements and stuff. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm just an uninteresting person in that regard. I just never really cared about achievements. What do you guys do with it? Is that something you guys have ever, is that something you guys do? You guys achievement hunters, if you will, right? I don't know. Let me know in your comments. What's something that you value in achievements? What do you work for that? Is that something that you work for, I guess is the question. It's not so much a why do you do this question, and that's not what I mean. It's more of a just kind of trying to get to know you sort of thing, you know? What is it about achievements that draws you in? If you are in fact drawn in by that. Damn it, guys, stop. You're going to get shot and killed one of these times, and I will feel bad for approximately 4.6 seconds. And I don't want to feel bad for 4.6 seconds, okay? My minimum threshold for feeling bad is 3.6 seconds, not 4.6 seconds, okay? So, like, this is going to make me feel bad for longer than I'm comfortable with. So please don't do that. Go like this, this, and this, and then we'll put one there, and you know what, let's put one here and here. Just to kind of line it up. Okay, so this is going to be well lit with the wall lights, and we're going to put a television in here on this side, let's say. We'll have some chairs over here so people can enjoy the television. We'll have a pool table on this side. Back there, let's say. We're going to put a CCTV camera in here because these guys get monitored. We're going to put a couple of sprinklers in here because we can. And I'm going to give them, I think, a couple of phones in the corner like that. We'll give them a couple of snack machines because I can actually make money on those. Let's give them a couple of paint. We'll give them a painting there, and then how about we can give them some benches to sit on. They like benches. They're kind of into that. Not a table, a bench. There we go. What else can we put in this common room? I don't think I want to give them computers. Computers is something available only to... Although I'm giving them arcade machines, which is, you know, kind of like giving them computers. Maybe I can give them some chairs, some couches to sit on. Something like this. We'll take a look and see what the rating of this place is in a second. I'm also going to get metal detectors in here because that's, like, essential. Also, we want a radiator. My metal detector right here. All right, let's take a look at the electrical costs of this. If I bring that all the way through there, bring this through here, and bring this through here, that should power every room. And I also need to get on the sprinklers. There we go. For this big pipe, I kind of don't want to bring it this way. But at the same time, that big pipe does not really help them dig much. Right? They're going to still have to get all the way over here, and we are going to catch them before that's a big problem. So I am actually going to bring this big pipe right to here and connect it to this. And that's going to facilitate water to this entire facility. It also opens up the possibility for me to put maybe another water boiler in here somewhere too. Like maybe in this little area. I could do it in this little area. Then it's really close to everything else. I kind of need to have another water boiler. Let's put another one right here. Hook it up there, and then we'll just have this go like that. Okay. So everything should theoretically be set up as soon as all that stuff's in place. Yep, and then we want hot water for the showers there, there, and there. And then they've got themselves a common room, which we can place staff in. And then this whole block actually is going to be like that. There we go. Okay. So, now we have increased capacity. I also have messed up my dog route. So let's fix that real quick. Move this dog route to be here. And we'll actually have you go ahead and... sort of wrap around like this instead. That way we can detect tunnels throughout this whole thing. And then we want another one. I think I don't really want it going down through minimum security. That's kind of the point. But at the same time, getting tunnels from this side is also a good idea. So I think we're going to have one dog also patrolling here for a while. Okay. Now, what was that guy doing What was that guy doing in here? Okay, this is not considered staff only. That's a problem. Staff only this. Yep. So they're able to just walk in here whenever they want. Crap. Did they get more gang members? I bet they did. I bet they did. That one there. But pros here is that Dowell is lieutenant for blue. And he's in Supermax. So he's not going to be doing much of anything. But I think I've pretty much neutralized gangs. Which is a good thing. Contrary to what some people may believe. That's a good thing. I don't want gangs. I mean, I have it on because it's like, hey, turn it on because it makes the game interesting. But that doesn't mean I want them to run rampant. No. The cool thing, though, is that you can choose to have them run rampant in this prison later if you want to. You can deal with that. That's fine. I just like to create interesting prisons. You know? And if it's something that interests you, great. What doesn't interest me is the mail is broken again. Mail is totally busted once more. We can dump the satchels, try again. It may not matter. Let's unmark the mailroom and mark it again. See what happens here. Okay, are you sorting? Okay, you're sorting. Good. Is this staff only? It is. Okay. So maybe they'll sort it now and they'll deliver it. We'll see. Staff are on the case. Seems good. How many more like mail deliveries are we gonna get? We got another sack here. I am seeing some satchels. They're just sort of trying to sneak in a blade, huh? They're just sort of sitting on the ground. Once they get over 10 letters, I think they're supposed to grab them to deliver them. Or get added to their project or whatever for this. See, we got lots of letters in satchels now. This is great. So we should see them start to get delivered very soon. And then that will facilitate their family needs, right? Very important need to have. How are we doing on food? Full there. Full in this canteen here. Down in this area, we've got not quite full. Could have some more cooking happening here. So why don't we get a few more staff. And then why don't we also get a couple more cookers. Like this. Let's get a couple more fridges. And I actually think I'm going to do one more set of cookers. And then I think another sink. Because I may need it. I don't know that, but I may need it. Bring this this way. And get that all connected to the hot water pipes too. 3, 2, 1, go, workmen. And then for logistics wise, I have prison labor happening in here. That's kind of nice. I would like to have more staff dedicated here. Assign cooks. Make sure there is always at least 4 cooks in here. Okay. And then the CCTV camera needs set up. Now, I think they're both full, right? Nope, 7 out of 8, 8 out of 8. So this one's got 1 left. And we can go right like that. Perfect. Okay. So we have full vision of everything now. And we can have more medium security if we choose to. Still no death row. They're just not showing up. Kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird. It's just disappointing. You know, they don't show up very often. It's why I don't really put a whole lot of time into death row. Like, it's a separate facility, which makes sense. It's appropriate. They've got 3 cells because, again, you're not really going to get very many of these guys. Parole room, kind of a requirement for them to see about clemency. Visitation, so they don't get any deadly weapons. They got nothing to lose, right? And then execution, right? And then that's it. And it's a really simple setup. It doesn't require a whole lot of thinking because you're not going to get very many of them anyway. If we keep playing on and on and on and we keep intaking on and on, maybe we will get one. But so far, haven't gotten a single one even available yet. But that may change. It's kind of random when it happens. Stop. Power surge has caused a generator to overload and catch fire. Okay, now, it catches fire, but we have sprinklers set up in here, right? We have sprinklers installed. The question, though, is whether or not it's going to get that fire put out. And so far, it looks like it should. Yeah, it puts itself out. So if anyone was wondering, why do you put sprinklers on your power? That's why. I don't have to call the fire department. This thing is solved now. And my capacitors are mostly saved, mostly intact. All I need to do now is repair this, which is the same as installing a new one. But my capacitors are intact. They didn't get damaged. It's going to cost me $5,000 to replace this. And all the water eventually just gets soaked up into the ground and it all goes away. There you go. Very good. So, sprinklers on your power. It's very good. Just make sure you have some redundancy in the system, right? Because this line was stopped. So if this is my only line into it, when the thing blows, then I don't have any water for the sprinklers. So I have some redundancy in my system coming in from different directions to make sure that whichever side blows, I still have some connections. And it's a real simple thing. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. I get to turn the power back on and we're good to go. But notice it happened because the power is way up here. So the higher you get above this line, this line. The higher you get above this line, the more likely that is to be a random event for you. And it could happen again. So we want to offload some of the stress. Now, Death Row has like a lot of capacity left over. So we're gonna want to get some of this offloaded there. And I think that's a pretty easy thing to do. Because we have all of these things can be hooked up to it. So why don't I go ahead and dismantle utility there. And let's say there as well. If we dismantle those two things, theoretically should shut off all of this. None of this should be connected to power anymore. And once that happens, we can offload all of these devices that are disconnected. All right, so we still have connections over here. Yep. Okay, so let's see where this is. It's underneath the pipe. That's why I didn't see it. Well, we're going to have to remove the pipe, which I hate that you have to do that, but you do. So let's offload. I kind of want to keep this kitchen. I guess we can offload the yeah, let's do that. Let's connect. If I was to go, is there any way for me to select? There just isn't. I wish there was. Let's disconnect this. Dismantle all of this. We want to hit the big pipe right away. Get the big pipe back in as soon as possible. And then I think we want the hot water pipes back in as soon as possible as well. But now that this stuff is disconnected. Nope, it's right here. It's the other big water pipe, isn't it? Yeah. Disconnect it here as well. So we got a little bit of utilities to work around here. Move that there, move that there. Get that done quickly. And this is getting reinstalled. Good. All this stuff is getting resituated. So this is now disconnected from power. Excellent. Which means we can hook it up to this grid right there. That should connect it all together. Bring it back online. Hopefully, if the workmen ever get on it. It is their priority after all. There you go. One more. And it's all back on. Okay, we need to reconnect it over here then. So let's go like this. Reconnect it there. I think that turns it all back on. And we've offloaded the power from this. And we brought it over here in a safe area. Perfect. Now let's get these cells back online if I can. And we're good. Everything's back on. And we have a safe levels Beautiful. Safe levels there. Safe levels here. More than safe levels here. Fantastic. Somehow this doesn't have power. The explosion must have disrupted the line. Yeah, it did. Right there. So the explosion went up from this way. That's why all the lines and stuff was burnt. But again, it blew and there's no fire department. And then let's make sure my sprinklers are still intact too. Yep, right there. So I put them on the corners because then no matter what side the fire goes on, they'll still react. And so you end up with the whole thing flooded. Same thing with this one here. The whole thing will be flooded. And this one here, again, the whole thing will be flooded. No. Hey there. Give me a second. I'll check out the death in a second. What happened here? How did I not get this one hooked up? That's an interesting development. Also, the fact that I can't see my big pipe when I have pipes selected. Why? Why, game? Thank you. So big pipes. Bring it up to here. And then bring this over and in. And we'll bring this up. And we'll go in from this side, I guess. Let's just go in from here. There. And then I want to bring you up, over, and in from here. And if there's not enough pipe for that, we'll just bring this up a little bit more. All right, let's get on that too. Where is this death? It's probably over here. I'm guessing. No. It's not. Where is it? Oh, it's going to be a dog. It's probably a... No, that's the handler. Where did that death come from? Oh, Jesus. I don't know where the death came from. Nope, here it is. What? Oh, shit, it's happening behind here. I don't have anybody back there? Oh, I don't have anybody patrolling back here. Huh? Get in here. I don't have anybody patrolling back here. Let's get a patrol set up. I have this. I have dog patrols. I need guards, I guess, on this. Get guards on this patrol, too. Some people died, though. Is it gang activity? Rival gang member. Yeah. Gang fight. Gang fight in the shower. Blue's taking names and kicking ass. But it's not my staff. That's important. Okay. So another riot is happening because their gang leader's being punished. Well, they certainly are voicing a big old stink about it, aren't they? There you go. How's that sound? Not being punished anymore, okay? Now get back in your freaking cells. Get back in your cells. It's bang up time. Do it. Settle your shit. Settle down. All right. I think you guys are settled now. Feel free to go and eat now. Just settle yourselves down. See? Now you don't get to eat today because you're bad. That's what happens when you're bad. Are these cells? They are marked as cells, right? Yeah. There's just nobody in them yet. We just had intake, didn't we? Yeah, it's nice. We have intake now. Let's see what we get. Really? Oh, we got ex-law enforcement. Okay. Let's get you protected. We have a couple of, got a bunch of question marks here. Let's get Zach to come on in here. We have 2 informants at 100% coverage. Now, for those of you guys who are new to the game, the longer you have your informants... Oh, really? No way. Gareth Connigan. Oh, I have to. I have to. I have to. The Connigan brother is going to turn against his team. And that is a gang member. The Connigan brother has had enough of his brother's bullshit. Is he the younger brother? He is. He's 19. Father 52, mother 42, wife 20. Okay, he's into the older women. I understand. It's fine. My wife is slightly older than me as well. I say slightly. Like, it's 2 months difference, okay? She will not let me, she won't live it down, right? Constantly reminded, right, that she's older than I am, but it's not a big, it's 2 months, okay? But yeah, she is. Get my guy in there. Okay, we have another guy in here. So we have a snitch right here. So anyway, for those who are new to the game, the longer you have your informants, right, the more coverage they'll get. And they get 100%. When they get 100%, they'll know everything that's happening in your prison. Everything. Every delivery, every hidden item, every person that comes in off a bus is known as soon as they enter your map. So they know everything. Perfect. So get 100% one is really good. Protective custody. And then, because you get everything, right? But when you mark them, right, suspicion happens, right? When you act upon that information, when this person is away from their cells and insecurity, yeah, people will know, right? So you want to be careful on what you're doing here. I'm just going to search this whole kitchen here because there's a lot of stuff in there. And then I'll probably just do, I think, these 2 cells and then call it good. And then we'll just do a general shakedown tonight because everything else in here is, like, I mean, we can get it. So I'm going to deactivate him first. It kind of gets him off the hook so no one's suspicious. And then I want to go in here and start just searching all this stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't remember which stuff is which here, but we're just going to search it all. And we're going to find whatever these weapons and stuff are that are hidden in here. We're going to find them all. Do not dump. Do not dump. Search. No, do not dump. Search. There we go. So we're going to find all that stuff. And then I want to go to... Which one is it? This guy's cell? No, it's this guy's cell. We'll just search the whole block. Honestly, we'll find everything anyway. More guns. Do you have any more guns? More guns, more guns, more guns. I do. Want to see? Would you like to see my gun? Bang, bang, bang. Stop acting up, asshole. There's actually some merit to using armed guards. I still don't like it, but I will admit that it has been easier to deal with these prisoners since activating it. I don't know if there's a way to save these poor souls without that. I'm gonna hire 2 more doctors, by the way. I don't know if there's a way to reform them or to otherwise handle them without doing that, but I didn't have so much of a problem last couple seasons. Right, I've been 5 other prisons. I've managed to successfully handle Supermax legendary prisoners pretty much without any major problems, aside from the first season with Scott Gordon, and that was it. So I'm proud of what we've done, guys. But this prison, with the slight changes that have been made to how the game works, is become clear to me that armed guards are a viable and may actually be the best solution for those guys, which I know is a total contrast from what I said before. It's a little bit like admitting defeat, but I think the one thing that people need to understand to do, and we don't have enough of this today. Like, I don't want to get into the politics of things, but one thing we definitely don't do enough of today, especially those in power, if you will, is altering and changing perspectives based on new, concrete, factual information, right? Being able to say, this is how it is, and therefore this is how it, like, should be acted upon. And admitting you're wrong and changing that perspective and changing your actions according to new information. That is something we don't do enough of. And, like, again, I don't like this, but I admit it has helped and it is working. And okay, we'll have free fire for now, right? Just the way it is. So I'm bringing 25 more minimums. That seems like a bad idea. Given my current capacity, I think that's a bad idea. So why don't we shorten that down to 2? And we'll just keep it on 2 for a little bit. I'm hoping to get one of the death row inmates. And then I have death row on the intake. Death row is all the way maxed out, so it will always prioritize a death row over anybody else. And yeah, I still have the prisoner meal variations, which is probably making them upset. But other than that, I mean, I guess expanding this way is the next thing to do. I need to let it run for a few days just to get more money. But ultimately, I think we can probably just, you know, head on over here and say, hey, I got brick foundation. And I can make that go like this if I want to. You know? Bam. Just like that. And actually down this way too. So if I wanted to expand like this, maybe I could go like that. Because there's this pathway right here I can go around, and then we have the common room completely surrounded. So in that sense, I could also maybe go like that. See? We just keep adding to it. It's okay. It's going to be awesome, actually. I'm going to put a staff door there. That'll activate this whole thing, give it a door, and when it's all built, I can go and proceed to making more cells that wrap around. I think I want another library. This is pretty small. Although it's not really necessary. We have 13 staff that have died on duty. Morale is starting to decrease. Right, so morale is going to is 99. Now, staff morale, for those who are, you know, newer to the game, I was told there's a lot of new players here. Welcome to Prison Architect. If you have any basic questions, feel free to ask them in comments. I try to answer the ones that are sensible questions. And what I mean by that is not questions that are, like, super obvious. For example, this is a real question received. Again, I'm not going to call you out, so if you ask this, yes, I'm making fun of you. No, it's not that big of a deal. I had somebody ask, what do guards do? Like, no joke. That's a legit question. Well, they do literally everything in regarding protecting everything. Okay, they do what guards do in any game. Yeah. Another question I was asked. So, like, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Which, again, this one's not as bad. Okay, this one's not as bad. What do dog handlers do? Again, not as bad, because that one's not as self-explanatory. So, in addition to the things that guards do with, like, protecting and attacking and things, couple of differences. Dog handlers do not process prisoners. They're not going to take them to their cells. They're not going to, you know, if they're in trouble, they're not going to cuff them. They're not going to search them. That's not what these guys do. They will respond to violence with attempting to solve the situation that way, but they won't do the other things that guards do, the more administrative tasking things that guards do. The vital role for dogs. 2 vital roles for dogs. The first is to find tunnels, because dogs can sniff out the tunnels. Speaking of which, shake down, bitches. They sniff out the tunnels. So having a variety of patrol routes for your dogs is very good. You want to pick routes that are in popular tunneling directions. So, for example, here, I'm actually going to get rid of this one because it doesn't make sense to have that anymore. But instead, we'll go ahead and have this dog route kind of go around here, right? The longer the route, the more dogs you want on that route, or you can even protect it a little bit further or get a little bit more control on it, if you will, by instead going ahead and, like, splitting up the routes. So, for example, if I do this, right, now this dog handler is going to stay on this route, and it's not going to go to this route. But if I go like this, now both of these dog handlers will just traverse this magenta area, and that's not what I want, really. Like, I don't need that kind of thing. But if I wanted them to both kind of work together in that way, I could maybe separate the line like this. And then they would both kind of do it. See what I mean? Dogs can sniff out tunnels, so let's take a look at these. So tunnels are all discovered here. During a shakedown, your guards will search toilets and things and maybe find a tunnel. And we can get rid of those tunnels like that. Pretty good. Dogs, you'll see like little flags on the ground, and that signifies that the dog smells a tunnel there or smells something suspicious. There's a lot of false flags. False flags can happen a lot. But if you generally see a whole bunch of them in a very small spot, there's a really low chance that that's a false flag. The second thing that dogs do, and this is the reason why I have them, in addition to finding tunnels early, you know, like a patrol route through this hallway, for example, like that's not going to, I mean, it might sniff out a tunnel, but the real thing that this guy's doing is it's sniffing out contraband, sniffing out drugs. And so if you put a dog handler, for instance, in this room, and you set a patrol route on this dog handler to be like right down here, right? Or not even this. You know people are going to go for the food. So you just handle a dog handler right here on this food line, right? And maybe you have them like maybe come over here or something. If there's a prisoner nearby who's going to get food and they have drugs on them or other types of contraband that the dogs can detect, they'll sniff them out, bark really quick, mark that prisoner for search. The dog handler is not going to search them. A regular guard will do that, but they're getting marked for it. So dogs have their places that way too. Even though the dogs are on a leash, though, as you've seen, they're not actually restricted by it. So they'll run independent from their handler, through walls, through the entire prison. I've had a dog handler. I've had a handler before stuck over here, but their dog wasn't stuck, and their dog was way over here attacking somebody. Like it was that far away, and it was the handler, and there's this leash. You can see the leash all the way over. So that can happen. But yeah. Anyway, so I don't want you to think there's any question is a dumb question. That's not the case. No question is a dumb question, but I will ask, especially in the case of like what do guards do? Maybe just think about it for a second, and you know, I don't know, watch the videos. And with that note, I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like the videos, give it a thumbs up. If you think I'm a cocky asshole, you can give it a thumbs down, because that's really helpful too. Awesome. Yeah, you really stuck it to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.